Hi, friends. Welcome. Super excited to have you here, and very excited to hopefully meet you in person. For the last two PhilDev Summits, we have structured ourselves with a virtual component where we share context, share info, get on the same page, pop the latest intel into everyone's brains, present new proposals and ideas that are maybe creative, maybe a little bit out there, and then give ourselves a bit of time to process, to synthesize, to iterate, and then gather together for our in-person PhilDev Summit, where we get to greet you all as new engaged members of the community and ecosystem. That will be live in Buenos Aires in just 3 weeks. But this is a great time to share out knowledge and context, get everyone on the same page, and also welcome and onboard some new folks. So we created FDS. Oh my goodness, I don't know at this point. I guess it was like late 2023. So I guess 2 years ago, man, and we've done 7 FDSs since then. This is a co-working environment. We are the Filecoin community and ecosystem, or a subset of it. And this is bringing us together to share knowledge, to tackle challenges, to talk about what is and isn't working, and propose lots of new ideas that might be crazy, might be a little bit out there, might not make sense to everyone, and align on critical work that we want to get done as a group. We have all of our virtual friends so that we can gather with people who can't necessarily make it with us in person in Buenos Aires. But our goal through this is to share context, get the discussion going, and build momentum so that when we do have time in person, we can use it for really deep, robust problem solving, whiteboarding sessions, and actually putting our ideas into motion with kind of roadmaps and next steps. Some of our goals, we want to advance all of the Filecoin new improvements. We want to push things into becoming FIPS, Filecoin improvement proposals. We want to solve key problems. We want to strengthen the network. We are exploring new ideas. Hopefully you learn things today and tomorrow that you did not already know, become aware of new challenges, new opportunities, and we start taking action together, which is turning those ideas into plans, or diagnosing all of the things that need to happen in order to make Filecoin better. In our virtual time, we've also created collaboration components, like using the Kumo space, so that we can also be building some of these one-to-one relationships, having breakout discussions, connecting with peers, sharing more kind of small group ideas. So please self-organize those using the PhilDev Summit Slack channel. If you're like, hey, let's go have a breakout from Juan's talk to go and figure out what's going on with Spark and make sure we're on a roadmap where Curio is announcing much faster. We can go and have those breakouts and start pushing on action today, and start making things better. And last but not least, the aim here is to grow the community. Super excited to have a chunk of folks here who haven't been here before. And this is an opportunity. All of these sessions are recorded. We're putting out information that can enable other people to get onboarded. I don't know about you, but I've heard from many people that like, oh, when I first got started in Filecoin, I went and watched all of these amazing videos from the PhilDev Summit on all of the content and ideas that people have had over the years, so that people can be a part of that growth process and make their own really informed proposals to make Filecoin better. So yes, we are now on the 7th PhilDev Summit. Each PhilDev Summit is slightly different because it's focused on the context and challenges and needs of our current moment. We had our last PhilDev Summit in May in Toronto. It was beautiful. We focused a lot on product market fit journeys, client onboarding, new tools for making on-chain paid deals, and bringing our on-ramps and kind of key Filecoin tools directly tied to Filecoin's economic growth and kind of like, more on-chain native, growing fees, growing alignment, and really kind of like catalyzing our momentum toward November with our next PhilDev Summit. And so we'll have some exciting launches there to share with the ecosystem. So for this PhilDev Summit, we are currently in our virtual kickoff sessions. We'll be having our in-person in November in Buenos Aires. Our goal with these kickoff sessions is sharing some of these updates, needs, context, problems. This is where we work as a cross team ecosystem with lots of visibility into different areas of Filecoin. So let's present some improvement proposals. Let's draft out some FIPS. This is a great forcing function to demo some amazing new capabilities as well, and highlight the opportunities to keep making Filecoin better, so that when we get together in Argentina for our IRL PhilDev Summit, we can then align on, all right, we've got lots of ideas. Let's prioritize. What is the focus? What can we like really narrow into and staff to get done? Let's scope our kind of PRDs for new capabilities into actual like engineering improvement proposals that we can go and launch into the network. We can workshop our execution plans. How are we going to build cross-team pods to go and achieve these goals? And last but not least, share back kind of market level roadmaps and funding needs for 2026 with the wider Filecoin community and with kind of our public good funding mechanism, so that we as an ecosystem can put our resources towards making Filecoin way better, way more usable, way more high growth. So I've same as last time, proposed some focus areas that I think we should aim to accomplish starting today during PhilDev Summit, but also continuing on into our IRL sessions in Argentina. There's more than this. This is definitely focusing on things that we're going to get started on today. But first and foremost, I would love it if everyone dives into some of the alpha builder tools around the Filecoin on-chain cloud, especially identifying opportunities to expand and improve that offering, onboarding the wider community of Filecoin builders, storage providers, on-ramps, and kind of ecosystem collaborators, folks working on go-to-market, onto that on-chain cloud alpha and start pushing our momentum behind bringing this to the wider Filecoin network. And there's a lot of really cool new ideas that are coming up as people play around with the on-chain cloud. They're like, wait, this is all working. I have hot storage. I have websites loading over IPFS from Filecoin. There's cool new things that can be built and need to be built in order to really recognize and realize that Filecoin vision. So let's build some enthusiasm, momentum, spark action, building on top of these new capabilities that just launched yesterday. Growth, there's a lot of new exciting proposals for tools and incentives that can help scale the Filecoin onboarding pipeline. I bet there's more here as well that we can work on together. So we'll share out a couple of proposals, but let's keep the discussion going on what else we can be doing to really turbocharge all of that QAP onboarding, as Juan was highlighting. And we also have a number of sessions helping people onboard onto Filecoin as a builder or as a storage client. So use those sessions if you're new here to understand some of the contribution and usage pathways that might be optimal for you. Which on-ramp should you be using and why? On PGF, there's going to be a great showcase on how PGF is already upgrading the Filecoin community capabilities, growing our ecosystem, but also a lot of sessions on how PGF has and needs to keep evolving to serve Filecoin's needs, what the roadmap looks like, how it's going to affect team coordination. So, let's use this time to get on the same page on what our current roadmap is and get part of that conversation, because we're still shaping it alongside the ecosystem today. And then there's a lot of time to coordinate, present and workshop proposals around governance and iteration velocity, so that we can be, pushing Filecoin forward faster. And also we have a draft of a Q4 roadmap and beyond that we'd love to initially share with the community and start workshopping and utilizing more as an ecosystem. It's still early, but excited to get people's feedback on that tomorrow. And last but not least, would really love everyone to take the time to connect, to discuss. The aim of this is to spark informed discussion and new ideas that we can then catalyze into action, so that when we're in Buenos Aires, we can be putting our time and energy into those in-person connections and discussions, instead of having to wait, who's doing what exists? I had no idea. And we've already shared out that context now. Here is our schedule for the next few days. We are right here, running a little bit late, in the FDS Kickoff and Goals. We are then going to break into two tracks. We have our technical track focused on Filecoin on-chain cloud. Lots of new things that just got landed yesterday that are now in early builder alpha for the ecosystem to start building on and using, and some good calls for how storage providers can get involved, what the alpha cohort of builders has been building, how you can become a key part of making the Filecoin on-chain cloud better and remixing and building additional services here. And then we have kind of our community and PGF track, which is talking about how you can get started in the community, what are some of the things that PGF funding is making exist that we can all build on and benefit from, and then some of the kind of ongoing roadmap, some recent launches, new open data set tools that people can start building on. Tomorrow we have our client growth and team coordination day, talking about governance and doing on-ramp roundups and all of the new tools that we'd like to enable to make client onboarding happen faster and better. So that's our schedule. We'll start again same time tomorrow, and after this we'll break into 2 tracks. I also wanted to make a couple of goals. My hope for a month from now, almost exactly a month from tomorrow, that what we will have achieved with the PhilDev Summit. I really hope that we've built momentum over this next month, that Q4 is a huge quarter for Filecoin in terms of the launches and upgrades that we're bringing to the ecosystem. And we have a really good plan building on top of that momentum to carry it into 2026 and, build our roadmap of that, momentum launches. We have really good feedback from the community on what are the next things to prioritize. I hope that we align on new tools, incentives, and go-to-market strategies to scale client onboarding. There's a lot of improvements that are being proposed, and lots of teams that are pushing forward on trying to bring more clients, paying clients, into the Filecoin network. So let's align on kind of our best growth strategies and make sure that we're putting our effort into making this a lot better. I'm excited to spend some time ideating with folks. There's still lots of ideas to keep making changes to some of Filecoin's core systems, that you're going to hear presentations here on economics, governance, and rewards, and how we can make sure that we're putting our resources in Filecoin towards the biggest improvements that are really going to attract valuable customers and make Filecoin continue to grow and solve the key challenges and use cases that we've been talking about for the last 5 years. And so I'm excited to spend time both in the Kumo space today and in person in Argentina, workshopping some of those ideas. The thing that bottlenecks growth is not having the plan and the pathway for how we're going to solve it. So let's build that pathway and then go down it together. It's also a great time to talk about how our public good funding systems are going to keep iterating, how we're going to coordinate as teams. We're going to spend time road mapping as teams. We had a really good road mapping session just a month ago in Berlin that has led into a first draft that we can then build on as an ecosystem. We also really want to make sure that we're identifying the high ROI projects for 2026 so that we can start doing the research work, doing the product planning, and coordinating team energy and budget so that we can do a whole ton of really exciting stuff in 2026. And last but not least, we really want to connect and collaborate and welcome our ecosystem. These in-person times are times where bonds are formed and businesses get their roadmap set for the year. So please come to the in-person sessions, take this time to connect and welcome new folks so that we can scale this whole ecosystem. Big thank you to everyone who spent time preparing presentations, proposals, awesome demos for all of you. Big thank you to all of these speakers. You're going to have a great time today. It's going to be fantastic. Please use the Kumo space for breakout discussions. Reminder, once we get done with FDS, we've got 3 weeks of discussion, road mapping, refinement time before we kick off with FDS 7 in Buenos Aires on, I believe, the 13th of November. So everyone get pumped, get excited, get your tickets if you haven't already. We'd love to see you in person. There's going to be so much stuff happening alongside DevConnect. There's going to be launch parties. There's going to be ecosystem gatherings. So hope to see you there to continue the discussion. Our goal between now and then is that we are kicking off whole workshop threads that we can pre-work on so that by the time we get in person, we've got some really robust proposals that we can action on.